about how you feel about this trend of famous players coming back to be managers. And then also, is there a bit of a salty undertone, if you will, of managers who have done their time, but then still can't seem to break into that top level of management?
Management. Yeah. I've been an advocate for this because obviously at Chelsea, obviously having one of my heroes, Lampard, come into the team and coach, I loved it. But personally, I don't like it because what it means is that you kind of get emotionally invested in your manager, which is a very bad thing for me because it got to a point where Lampard was doing a lot of things that were bad for Chelsea, but because I loved him so much as like my hero, I couldn't see it, you know? So I would be having discussions with certain people and they'll be like, what are you talking about? Why are you getting so emotional with it, you know? I think sometimes it can work, but honestly, like long term, as a manager, there's so many things that you need to bring into the team that it's very hard unless you're someone like Zidane, who just had no faults. You know, he was very lucky to win major trophies, and now he can be put in the conversation as an elite coach. You know what I mean? But the majority, as we can see, Ole, Lampard, even make Crystal Palace right now, like they're not doing the worst, but just that little thing that managers have and they can bring to the team, I don't think players can.
And it's interesting. At Crystal Palace, one of our most viewed clips, I said this last episode, is when me and Josh were like talking about Crystal Palace, and then all these Crystal Palace fans started getting on us. And look at you now. Hey, man. Can't get points from nowhere.
Exactly, bro.
Where?
Yeah, like I'm gonna be honest. Like Lampard had a very good first year, but as a Chelsea fan, I can sit here and say it was luck. Like any Chelsea fan any true Chelsea fan would tell you that it was luck. He brought in the youth players and they were quick and sharp, and it was just something different, and it worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But personally, nah, I don't like especially the heroes. Like the heroes of the team coming in and coaching. I don't like that. Yeah.
The nostalgia is the tough thing for me. I remember when Oli came in and we weren't doing terribly when he first came in. We also weren't playing great football. And he beat PSG, like that dramatic win in France to get out into the quarterfinals and stuff. And I remember I was gassed. I was like in the office running around and shit. Like I was just popping off. But because you have that emotional thing of like he scored the winner against Bayern Munich in the that treble winning season,
100%.
And all the other important goals that he's done. He's such a fabric of the story of the club, right?
100%.
I get what you mean. It's super difficult to remove yourself from that and objectively go, but we aren't playing that great. Even if we finished second last season, it wasn't convincing at times. And sometimes, and I think this is what you're talking about, which is you look for excuses around them to try and explain what's going on, right?
To try and explain what's going on.
You're like, oh, Harry Maguire sucks, or like Ronaldo.
The players aren't doing this. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like,
it's up to your manager, bro.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. That got me thinking. Like, it got me thinking a lot, because as you said, like, there's a lot of people that are coming in as players, former players, back into the managing role and stuff. So hopefully it's not a trend. And hopefully it turns into a good trend,
Yeah, because I think it's interesting when you look at the biggest managers, Pep Guardiola, who obviously his story was promoted from the B team in Barcelona but he used to play for Barcelona. But you look at managers like Klopp and Tuchel as an example of managers that didn't have illustrious playing careers. You can throw Jose into that mix as well.
That's a good point, bro. That's a very good point.
Tactically brilliant. And then you come into a club and all that you're judged on is what results and trophies have you won before, and then what results and trophies can you bring now. And I think with players that are former players like Frank Lampard, for example, you're going, this guy's won Champions Leagues, Premier League titles, but not as a manager, and you forget
not
that
as a manager. Yeah. All the best coaches were meaty players, bro.
Yeah.
It's a saying, man. If you can't play coach.
Yeah, 100%. And look at someone like
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho, who admitted that he wasn't a good player. The trophies
Yeah.
that he's won.
Yeah,
is
man, 100%,
insane.
100%. Because it's all about man managing. You know, as a player, like you always try and lift your team and fit in the team. But if you can't man manage, sometimes, like back when Mourinho was Mourinho, he was very harsh. Like he had that cutthroat kind of vibe, and that was what was working for him. But I don't think he can do that now. Whereas someone like Pep is a very good managing coach. Like he took Sterling from an average player to one of the best in the world. So yeah, there's just a lot.
I feel like that what you just said was pretty controversial though, because Sterling was not just an average player.
Oh, at Liverpool, I would say he was. He was great. Yeah.
But at Liverpool, there was a reason why Man City invested in him, right? Like he was young at the time as well. I mean, was he 18, 19 when he played? Yeah. Hey, man, don't disrespect Raheem. Don't disrespect Raheem like that.
That's a I can name another player if you'd like, but it's just on the point that Pep is just more of a man-managing player. Like he can take players from average to maybe Raheem Sterling wasn't the best example, but
maybe like John Stones or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
John Stones, not bad.
Well, what do you think? What do you think then about Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa? I thought it was an interesting kind of appointment, and obviously he's done good work with Rangers in the Scottish Premier League as well. Do you think it's going to be too much of a step up for someone that in a similar vein carries a big name, right? Like Villa fans would have been excited because it's bloody Stevie G, but Stevie G the player and Stevie G the manager being able to separate the two different people.
I think it'll be another story of Frank Lampard. Maybe not as great. I think he'll be okay this year. He'll be decent. He's got them 2 wins, which is really good. But how I see it is that long term. Like I don't see him at Aston Villa for more than 3 years. I don't see him carrying them from an average team to a better team. I see him doing good stuff there, but I don't know. I can't even see him there maybe 2 years from now.
And do you reckon he ends up at Liverpool
as a coach?
Yeah, to replace Klopp.
That's a big call. That's a big call. I don't even want to say. You know what? No comment.
Oh, you can't believe you copped out.
I don't want any.
You got him.
I don't want any Liverpool fans coming up on me, man.
Come on.
That's a big one. Honestly, no, never.
Hey, Q doesn't want no smoke today. He doesn't want no smoke.
I don't want no smoke for Liverpool fans, man. I've copped enough already, man.
Oh, that's so good. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a big call, bro. Like that's a big call. Yeah,
well, I'm just thinking,
replace Klopp.
Because Klopp has said that at the end of this current contract, he wants to take a break.
Okay.
I think that's what my dad's a huge Liverpool fan. So we talk about this a lot.
Okay.
And so enough. Like in Steven Gerrard, the timing of like a couple of years at Aston Villa, get used to the Premier League, see how he does at that level, or maybe when Klopp goes, it's time for me to leave. A new cycle to begin. Steven Gerrard, the name, but then this is where we talk about, do you bring back legends to do the job?
Because of the name, yeah. Well, it just depends how well he does at Aston Villa, I guess. If he does decent, the EPL, we do crazy things in here. They'll probably get him back because of his name. But if he's average, I think, he'll just stay in there for a while and then probably end up going back down, man. Or,
Damn. So you don't think he's cut out for it?
No way. There's not, like, you have to have experience, a lot of experience, and the experience that he has just doesn't cut it. Like I could definitely be wrong, but I just don't see it happening. Like Nuno had one great season, but now where is he at? So it's not easy. It's not easy to coach a Premier League team, man. Yeah.
Damn, you're cold-hearted. You're cold-hearted. No time.
I'm
for Stevie,
man.
No time for Stevie G.
No. I was even surprised he came back to Aston Villa. Like,
God damn, you are
so surprised.
That is
cold.
So
surprised.